Alright, what is going on, guys? It is Benny, and today I'm going to be showing you guys the best Mortar Graveyard decks. And honestly, something I have to say about Mortar Graveyard is it's one of those decks that is amazing, and you can beat players who are so much better than you because of your one trick. And so that's the first thing. And then another thing I want to say about Mortar Graveyard is there are a ton of different types of Mortar Graveyard decks that you can play. You know, you can play a much faster cycle deck like this one, for example, or you can play a slower Mortar Graveyard deck and kind of have one or two pushes that get you the win. So there's a lot of different kind of ways and different play styles that this benefits, and so hopefully we can get some nice wins with all of these decks that I'm going to be showing you guys. Now for our first deck, this is actually a deck that I have or at least I had my best finish up until 2 seasons ago. So I got my top 1K finish 2 seasons ago, but I had my best finish with this deck before, and this guy is emoting a ton, so hopefully we can get the win here because this guy's kind of annoying. And with this deck, we cycle incredibly quick, so you want to really pressure your opponents. We have Evo Bats and we have the Evo Knight. I think Evo Knight is definitely necessary, but Evo Bats you can swap for Evo Mortar if you want. But the biggest thing is pressuring your opponent, and having the Little Prince there really helps you to have a very quick cycle while still having that added defense of having the Guardian if you ever need it. So I'm going to play the Bats right here, and then if he goes for another pump, he's going to be in a lot of trouble because I could actually, you know what, he does have the Evo E-Dragon cycle, so if he plays a pump, we could go for the Mortar plus the Evo Knight, or I mean the Graveyard plus the Evo Knight, but we do have to be kind of careful about that. So let's go ahead and let's play the Skeletons right here, and then let's cycle a Bar Barrel first and just see what he plays. Okay, he's going to go for a push here, so let's go ahead, let's get the defensive Mortar down here because I know something big is coming my way, and this is going to not be an easy defense. He's going to play the pump there, so let's go ahead, let's Evo Knight, and then let's Graveyard, and then realistically the Evo Knight should get on the tower. He played the Inferno Dragon instead, so the Graveyard's going to put in a ton of work. We're going to get a lot of value out of that push there, and then he's going to have to defensive Tornado, but you know, that just really wasn't the greatest play. I don't really know what this guy was thinking. Now we have the Evo Bats on the tower, so that's going to be good value. Let's go ahead, let's play the Mortar into this lane here. I do have to be careful because if he tries to go for a tower swap with me, I'm actually in a bit of trouble. So I do need to be careful, but he did use his E-Drag, so that's kind of the biggest thing here because that's the most dangerous card that we have to deal with here. I'll play the Bats there literally just to cycle. There really wasn't much point in doing that. And then I'm just going to poison right here. And if he tries to go for, holy crap, okay, so he's going to go for the Golem. So let's go ahead, let's get the defensive Mortar down right here. And then I guess I'll just LP first, and then let's just get the Bats down right there to distract, and then let's pull that healer, and then I'm just going to defense a poison there. I just need to watch out for his Tornado. There it is. That's going to give us a bit of trouble, but the LP will stay alive, so we should be okay. And then let's go ahead, let's Bar Barrel right here, and then let's pull using these Skeletons, and then we are going to get our Evo Bats down, and then we can just get the Evo Knight right here, and that is going to be a win for us. We just need to get another poison on the tower, and right there, that is a perfect example of why this deck is so good, because that was a pretty easy matchup against a really annoying deck. I'm not going to give him a good game because he was emoting a ton right there, but let's go on into the next one. Alright guys, we are on to our next deck. Let's go ahead and let's play the Mortar here, and we are going to be using Mighty Miner, and honestly, with the champion balance changes, using the higher DPS champions seems to be a bit more of the move unless you're specifically running a very specific cycle deck. I really like this Mortar deck though. I think that this is a ton of fun to play, and I actually really like this as a Mortar Graveyard deck. I'm going to play the Mighty Miner in the back there. I'm not going to poison on that Wizard. I don't think it's going to be worth it, but we do have Evo Furnace, and so we're going to try to be starting our Furnace in the back every single time. We just didn't have that as an early rotation, so you know, that's just a little bit unfortunate. And then I'm going to start the Ice Wizard in the back here, and then let me think here. What do I want to do? Honestly, I'm going to start my Furnace in the back here as well, just because he's going for a bit more of a slow push, and then you know, the Furnace plus the Ice Wizard should take that out pretty easily, and we should be in a pretty solid defensive position here. Let's wait and see if he pops that Skeleton King ability. I'm going to play the Mortar here just because that's going to be pretty good value for us, and then you know, we have a decent push going there. I don't really know why he's not countering. I think he's holding on to a Mega Knight or something, man. He's got to be, because like he's holding on to something for a very specific reason. But I think we're going to take the tower right here, honestly. I think this guy's deck is incredibly oh, okay, that makes a lot more sense. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's get the Ice Wizard down here first. We've got the Berserker there to get some good value, and then I'm going to play the Mighty Miner right there onto the Evo Wizard. I'm hoping it's the Evo Wizard specifically that goes down. I don't really care about the Skeleton King right now. And then I will Bar Barrel and all of that. That's going to be an easy defense. Let's play the Evo Mortar into the opposite lane there, and then let's just get a Furnace down on this side because he's going to have to deal with all of that. And I think I can probably take his tower on the right side here. And realistically, we definitely need to take at least one tower before double elixir. So we're gonna take that tower. That's really good. And then Oh my gosh, okay, can we actually get, let's go for a play here. He's going to have to play something on that right side, and I'm going to pop the Mighty Miner ability and get that Mighty Miner right on the tower, and we're going to take out all of the skeletons. Oh my gosh, that is amazing. I don't know why I just played that Ice Wizard. I just got excited there, so you know, we did that. That's okay. We'll get the graveyard on the tower. We didn't even really need the graveyard, and that is going to be a win. So let's give him a good game. Let's give him a good luck, and let's go on into the next. All right, guys. So for our next Mortar Graveyard deck, we are going to be using Goblin Stein. And one thing I want to say is it's honestly very easy to make a Mortar Graveyard deck. It's one of the decks that you can get away with just having your own combination. So the biggest thing with Mortar Graveyard is you need to make sure that you have at least one tank. You need to have 2 cards that target air troops, you know, whether those are ranged cards or those are something like Bats or Phoenix. And then you need to have a card that pulls. And so in this one, it's skeletons, but you could use something more expensive like guards. You kind of have a ton of different options, and the deck can be as expensive as you want based on your playstyle preference. Now I'm going to play the skeletons right there just to deal with that mini P.E.K.K.A, and then, you know what, honestly, I'm going to get my bats down here just to get that cycle going, and then let's go ahead, let's play another mortar just because he's playing a little bit more aggressive. And he did use his arrows, so I know that I can play both archers in the same lane if I need to. And then he's going to play the witch. I'm not going to defend that mortar. I'm actually just going to hold off, and then what I'll do is I'll play my bar barrel to defend the witch in a second. So let's go ahead, let's play the bar barrel now to defend the witch. We'll take a little bit of damage, but that's okay because it's better off just to be in a better elixir position. And then he's going to start the baby dragon in the back. So let's go ahead, let's play the Goblin Stein here. And then what do I want to do? You see, he does have Chef, so I do need to be a little bit careful of how I play this going forward. Let's split our archers in the back here just because he played the Goblin Machine in the back, so we might as well get that cycle going, and you know, get an archer down to help us defend. And then I'm gonna play my bats. That was not a good way to play my bats, but I did need to get something down. And then let's just get some skeletons down right here as well to help out with that Goblin Machine. And then I'll play the mortar. That might have been a mistake. It really depends if he's going to try to defend it or not. Shoot, okay, he is going to defend it, so that's good. Let's get the Goblin Stein down right here, and then oh, man, that is not good though. That is not an ideal situation for us right now. Let's get the Evo Bats down right away here, and then let's pop the Goblin Stein ability because he's probably going to play something into that. So the Goblin Stein ability is going to kind of help just melt everything, and we'll get rid of that Evo Witch there so we can bar barrel, and we will defend honestly pretty good. I would have been better off playing a graveyard earlier, but we were in a pretty good place, and that was a bad time for him to play vines. I'm going to graveyard here there, even though his tower is literally already gone. We'll get that down there, and then let's go for the mortar into the opposite lane there just to get that value out of it. And we have this 2 scientists going in there. Let's get some bats down. Hopefully he will play his arrows, and then I'm just going to play my skeletons up high here. And then what do I want to do? Let's get the Goblin Stein down right here. And then let's just get some the archers down there to help us defend. And then, oh my gosh, that mini P.E.K.K.A got boosted. So we will lose this tower, but that's okay just because, you know, we have so much damage into the opposite lane there. We just need to make sure that that witch goes down, which it does. No pun intended. And then let's just get some skeletons down here. We can play the Goblin Stein again, and then that will all get defended most likely. We do need to be careful in case he tries to play vines, but at the moment, at least, we're okay. Let's hold off a second. Let's play the mortar right here because we got some good damage on the tower there. And then I'm just going to poison on that evil witch there just because we can. And he's going to give us good value on the guards as well. I'll play the archers. I'm hoping he uses his arrows. He does. I'm going to ignore for a second, and then I'm just going to go ahead and play the bar barrel. And then we can get our evil bats down right here. Let's go for a Goblin Stein in the pocket now as we're defending, and we have 20% battery left. Goblin Stein will get on the tower, which is huge. And then let's poison on that, and then let's just pull with these skeletons, and let's get the archers down, and that's going to be a win. So let's give him a good game, let's give him a good luck, and let's go on into the next deck. Alright guys, we're on to our next deck, and this is a very strong defensive deck. This is a very good Mortar Graveyard deck. I'm not going to go for the King Tower activation there, actually. That would be way too expensive. I'm just going to play the cannon card. This guy's going really aggressive, and I think he's playing Expo, and honestly, I'm going to punish him right off the start here, because he's playing quite aggressive, and I don't really know why he's doing that. Let's play the Knight. He's going to have to defend that put. Oh my gosh, never mind. Okay, well that was a good rocket. That was pretty well played. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I thought I had him there. I was really excited, and then he just completely, you know, ruined my day there. So that's a little bit crazy. Let's cycle the snowball here. I have to be careful just because I know he has Expo, and I don't really have great ways to kite the Expo. And then honestly, like, getting a King Tower activation is not going to be worth it against this guy. I'm gonna start the Musketeer in the back there, and then let's go ahead, let's play the Mortar into the opposite lane, because he's gonna, if I play anything else into that right side, I know it's gonna be really easy for him to defend, and he's going to just be able to build up an expo push out of it. So you know, I think I'm safer this way. And then what I'm going to do is let's split the guards right here first, and then let's go ahead and let's play the cannon cart, and then he's going to log. Let's have our snowball ready here. But we will take that expo out, so that's going to be a good defense for us, but we do need to be ready for the next expo. I need to be very careful, and I think I'm going to play my poison realistically on his expos here as we play. Let's just snowball again onto this tower here, just because, you know, why not? And then he's going to start the knight in the back. I'm going to musketeer back here. I don't care if he rockets here, because then he has to push into the same lane as me, and that's when he's going to run into trouble. So you know, a same lane matchup here actually works in my benefit, I would say. And then let's play the knight right here, and I'm not going to play my evil mortar right away. I definitely need to be careful, and I don't think he can really back this expo up, because he has to defend the right side there. So that's going to work out quite well for us. And now I'm going to go for the evil mortar, because we have the musketeer there, and he's going to have to rocket on the evil mortar if he wants to. So you know, oh, okay, actually those were good evil archers, but the musketeer should snipe them, and then we won't get really much more out of that push, but that's okay. And then let's go ahead, let's play the knight here, and then I'm gonna go for the graveyard, and then if he goes for the rocket, that's a lot of elixir, and we do have the tank there with the knight, so at least we might be able to get a couple graveyard hits here. And so we are going to pull out a couple counters, and then I can just play the poison right there. That's going to be good value for us. And then what do I want to do here? What am I thinking? What's going to be the move? Let's play the defensive mortar here first, and then he's just going to spam everything into that lane. Let's go ahead. Let's play the musketeer right here to help us defend, and then I'm just going to hold off a second. Let's go ahead. Let's play the knight up high here, and then I'm just going to poison on all of this. Honestly, that's going to be good value for us. And then I'm going to snowball as well, get all of that down. The expo will get a lock, but that's okay. I'm not too worried about that. And then man, see, I need to figure out a way. Why would he do that? That was a really weird play, I'm gonna be honest, because I can just cycle mortar graveyards as much as I want here. Let me think here. What do I want to do? I'm going to cycle the musketeer in the back here, and then he's going to go ahead and he's going to play the archers. That's completely okay. I'm going to cycle like this, and then let me think here. What do I want to do? Let's go ahead. Let's get the knight down right here. He's going to play all of that. Let's get the defensive mortar down right here, and we do have a pretty good push going into the opposite lane that he's going to have to deal with. I can just play the musketeer right here, and we are going to take all of that out, and he's going to have to focus on his defense there for a second. And then the evil musk is going into the opposite lane. Let's wait and see how he counters. Okay, he's going to play the knight there, so I'm going to go for the cannon cart, and then the graveyard up high here. He's going to play the Tesla. That's actually not the greatest counter right there. I'm going to play the Evo, or just play the snowball, sorry. See if we can get a couple more hits on the tower. We do, so that's going to be very helpful. Let's get a poison down right here, and then if he goes for the rocket, I'm going to go for a mortar, and then I'm going to kind of just deal with that. Let's play the knight right here, and then he's going to, I don't know why this guy's BMing on us, because we can just go ahead and play the cannon cart right here. Let's go ahead, let's get the snowball down right there, and then let's just get the guards right here. Let's go ahead and let's play the evil mortar, and we're going to deal with all of that. We can go ahead and play the knight right here, and then let's just get the poison down on this, and then let's get a high musketeer to deal with that expo, and then let's get a snowball on the tower, and then there is the rocket. Okay, so let's go ahead, let's play this right here, and then let's just wait a second, and then let's go ahead, let's get the cannon cart down, and then let's go for the graveyard right here, and then let's go ahead and let's get a poison down onto this, and then let's get the snowball as well. We just need a couple graveyard hits on the tower, and that will be a win for us. So we are going to get the graveyard hits. Oh my gosh, we are going to get the win. Holy crap, I can't believe we just won that. We are so happy about that. He was BMing the entire time. This guy just absolutely messed that up. Holy crap. Alright guys, now for our last deck, we are going to be using Evo Skarmy with Mortar Graveyard, and honestly, Evo Skarmy pairs very well with Skeleton King, so that is something very good that we can hopefully take advantage of. And then, because he played the cannon there, I'm actually going to start my Skeleton King in the back here, start that slow push up. It looks like we might be up against Hog Xe NATO, just based off the cannon plus the Executioner, but we'll wait and see. Ooh, hold up, that is not what I was expecting. I'm going to snowball here though, just to be safe in case he tries to go for a tornado play. Make sure that he doesn't get that Executioner onto my tower. But he has Miner, so it's like Hog Xe NATO, but it's not. I'm going to play a defensive mortar here, just again to be safe and make sure that he doesn't get that executioner onto my tower, because if he went for a NATO there, we would have taken a lot of damage. And then he's going to play the cannon. That's okay with me. I don't really need to worry too much about that. I'm not going to over defend that or anything. And then I'm going to split the Skarmy in the back. Let's kind of wait and see what he does in response to that. Alright, and then what do I want to do here? Let's go ahead and let's play the Skeleton King here. Let's get that slow cycle going. Ooh, okay, that's a little bit crazy. He's going to play the Miner plus the Balloon. Let's get the Musketeer right here. And then I'm just going to snowball defensively, make sure that we push that Balloon back, and then we will be okay. And then if he plays the Executioner on that right side, okay, he's going to play the Valkyrie. Okay, so that's okay. And then, let's go ahead, let's split the Evo Skarmy right here. Let's do that first, and then, like, it's just not going to do what I needed it to do. So I'm going to play the Skeleton King right here, because that was a little bit crazy, if I'm being real with you guys. And then, what do I want to do here? Let's just chill out. Let's wait and see how he defends this. I'm going to pop the Skeleton King ability, though, just again to see if we can force him to play another counter, or at least get some skeleton hits on the tower. You never know. And then I'm going to cycle the Ice Spirit right here. Let's wait again for that Miner to come out. There it is. Let's go ahead and play the defensive Mortar. And then Musketeer is going to help out quite a bit there, so that's good. Okay, that was a pretty good tornado there by him, but we are going to be okay. Let's go ahead, let's split the Skarmy right here, and then let's go ahead and let's do this, and then, ooh, okay, so we're going to have to pull all of that, but we are going to keep the Evo Skarmy thing alive, so that should kind of shred through everything that he just played there, so we're going to get a really valuable defense there. That was amazing. Oh my gosh, Evo Skarmy is amazing. I love it so much. And then, like, this is tough just because it's hard to break through here, but let's go ahead. We popped the Skeleton King ability and we got the Skarmy there, or the Graveyard, sorry. So I just needed to get something down, and then I'm actually going to poison here. We've got the Skarmy in the opposite lane. Musketeer will get on the tower, so that's going to be huge. That was a lot of damage for us to get, and I'm just going to Musketeer here again. And then he is going to play the Miner, so let's go ahead, let's get the Skeleton King down right here, just to defend all of that. We have to be so careful, because we don't really have a lot to counter his balloons. Like, we have the Snowball and we have the Musketeer, which are two decent counters, but they're not going to be, you know, like the save all. I'm going to cycle my Skarmy into the opposite lane there, just to get that going, and I'm getting the poison on the Executioner every chance I get, just because we know that it's so dangerous and so difficult to deal with. And then, let's go ahead, let's play the Musketeer right here, and then we will take one Executioner hit there. He's going to try to pull the Musketeer away, but that's not going to work out. And then let's just go ahead, let's play the Skarmy, and then let's get the Skeleton King down right here again, just to get that kind of awkward push going for us. And then I'm going to poison right here. We're going to deal with all of that, and then he's probably going to play the Valkyrie here in a second. There's the Valkyrie right there, but we are going to kind of shred that down. Let's go aggressive here, because I don't think he has a great way to deal with our Graveyard plus our Skeleton King ability. And then let's go ahead, there's the Executioner, so now I'm going to go for the Skarmy into the opposite lane. He'll probably just play whatever. Yeah, okay, so we're going to see that, but we did get some good pressure on him there, and then I'm going to go ahead and play the poison right there. We did almost get the Skarmy on the tower, but we actually got a ton of damage on that right side. Holy crap, okay, that was awesome. Let's go ahead, let's play the Mortar right there, and then I'm hoping that we get the pull. Holy crap, okay, we didn't get the pull. So we do have to get all of that down, and let's get the Musketeer down right here to deal with that. Let's get the Skarmy down here to deal with that Executioner. I know it's not the greatest counter, but you know, it's something that we do have to do in that situation. And then let's cycle so that we can get to another Musketeer here. I'm going to keep this Musketeer alive as long as possible, just to get that value out of it. And then let's go ahead, let's get the Musketeer down right here. We're definitely shredding through that balloon, which is really good, so we're going to defend everything. And then I'm going to snowball on all of this. Let's go ahead, we might as well get the Evo Skarmy down just to cycle, and then let's get an Ice Spirit down here. Let's go ahead and let's get the Mortar down. Let's get the Musketeer right there. Let's get a second Musketeer down right here, and let's give him a good game. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you guys found a Mortar deck that you like, and I cannot wait to see you guys in the next one.